Bengals sluggish, but defense grinds out win over Rams on Monday Night Cleveland, in front of a Monday Night Football audience. The Cincinnati Bengals didn't perform flawlessly against the Los Angeles Rams, but they did enough to win 19-16, giving them their first victory of the 2023 NFL season. For the first 58-plus minutes, the Bengals prevented the Rams from reaching the end zone, with quarterback Joe Burrow and the offense doing just enough to support the effort on the other side. What to know about each team's performance is listed below. The Bengals' resilience to be a title contender was the topic of discussion on Monday night. They needed to defeat the Rams with quarterback Joe Burrow if they weren't going to get off to a disastrous start to the season. Playing with a right calf injury, the Bengals did precisely that against the Rams, demonstrating the same kind of tenacity that was on display throughout the team's successful postseason trips the previous 2 seasons. Falcons against Jaguars in the NFL in London. On Sunday at 9:30 a.m. the Falcons and Jaguars square off in London's renowned Wembley Stadium exclusively on ESPN+. Get access to live NFL games, highlights, original content, premium content, and commentary by subscribing to ESPN+. More broadcast of Toy Story Fun Day Football. Burrow did enough to keep drives going and score touchdowns despite the Bengals' offense having a slow start and some boos from the home fans. The Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford came under pressure from the defense, which was occasionally gashed. Vital areas, induced 2 significant turnovers, and prevented Los Angeles from entering the end zone until the very last second. After the Bengals lost their first 2 divisional games, capturing the AFC North for a 3rd consecutive season will be difficult. However, Burrow's better health and the Bengals' victory in the Packer Stadium's prime-time game offer them encouragement that their ambitious objectives are reachable. 2 words to sum up the game: ugly triumph. It wasn't nice, but any team that has a 0-2 record will not be sorry about its first win of the year. By a game-changing performance, Ja'Marr Chase had his biggest game of the season, surpassing 100 receiving yards in the week after complaining about the lack of action, particularly deep balls. After he caught a 43-yard throw from Burrow in the 3rd quarter, Chase and offensive coordinator Brian Callahan had a private discussion regarding the receiver's position in the offense earlier in the week. Chase met the Bengals' expectations for kick-starting their season. Play that matters. A losing team may always use a little luck. And that's precisely what the Bengals got when Rams wide receiver Tutu Atwell's score was overturned early in the game because a replay revealed he stepped out of bounds. It prevented the Bengals from having to deal with a significant deficit right away, and gave the offense the time it needed to settle in and score a touchdown of its own, which Joe Flacco did in the 3rd quarter. Mixon ran for 14 yards and scored. QB breakdown: early on in the game, it seemed risky to have Burrow play with an injured calf. He swiftly released the ball rather than pushing it downfield. He did, however, appear to settle down throughout the second half, exactly as in Week 2. Burrow appeared more at ease moving around, whether it was during the planned rollout that led to Chase's spectacular reception or when he was attempting to avoid pressure. The Bengals' gutsy showing was just what they needed to escape the terrible 0-3 start.